equality during this time of economic crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic. 57 years ago, Martin Luther King Jr. told our ancestors, perhaps even some of you, about his dream. This was a dream of freedom and equality for every man, woman, and child. This was a dream of overcoming the racial divide and replacing it with the hope of prosperity, unity, and love. Dr. King said that, in a sense, we've come to our nation's capital to cash a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. Dr. King's dream had yet to become a reality. 30 years ago, as I was bringing my newborn son home from the hospital for the first time, his mother and I stopped by a check cashing store. She went inside while I stayed with our son. Out of nowhere, a policeman came up to my car and asked why I was waiting. His question wasn't, "Can I help you with something?" It was, "Why are you here?" I said that my son's mom was inside cashing a check. He asked for my license and registration and reached into my glove compartment. I told him that he didn't have the right to go through my things. Then he forced me to exit the car, get on my knees, and lay on the ground with my fingers in a lock behind my neck. The officer stopped my son's mother from coming near us and sent me off to jail in handcuffs as my baby cried all alone in the back seat of the car. And within a child's car seat, my son's first moments in the world laid the foundation for what his life could be. I was fortunate to make it home unharmed, but for so many black and brown men and women in the nation, that's not the case. The bombings and lynchings of the civil rights movement are the knees on our necks today. And it's brought me to tears to realize that the system is trying to make me feel as though I can't breathe. Even winning an Academy Award doesn't make you immune to getting stopped and frisked. This nation is haunted by a history of racial inequality which still presents itself every day. And so, we march. Many of you have protested and seen the changes that can come from your actions. People from all backgrounds, black, white, and all other races, have united to bring about racial equality. You may be here today because you know exactly what you want to change. Or you may possibly feel unsure of exactly what you want to achieve, but just know in your heart that you want to be a part of this movement. Whatever the case, you have to remain open, trust, and the answer will evolve from a dream to a reality through your actions. So when you're asked, "Why are you here?" you could tell people, "I'm here to stop police brutality." Why are you here? I'm here because I want to fight against joblessness and homelessness and mass incarceration. Why are you here? I'm here because not even a pandemic will stop me from fighting for change. And when you're asked, "Can I help you with something?" you can answer, "Yes, you can help me to achieve racial equality." Can I help you with something? Yes, you can get me equal access to health care. Can I help you with something? Yes, you can ensure that racist acts of violence are a thing of the past. When we look at the images of the civil rights movement, it's easy to ignore the hundreds of thousands of anonymous heroes who marched alongside Dr. King and his peers. It's even easier to forget that each of them had a story full of hopes and dreams of their own. What story do you want to have told about you during these times? In the midst of a pandemic, anonymous heroes like you are showing the world that the virus of systemic racism is even more deadly than the one that keeps us 6 feet apart. It's the anonymous heroes like each of you who truly shape the world and can shape it into something more humane, more just, and more loving. These are days where the circumstances are so dire that to stand by can be a detriment to our lives, to the planet, and even to our souls. Police brutality goes unchecked. Our economy is the worst it's been in generations. People are losing their homes, their jobs, and their loved ones to the pandemic. So we must empower ourselves to know that we all make a difference. Combined, we are unstoppable in reaching a shared dream of racial equality. The nation has been awakened. In standing for progress today, you say no more and demand change now. Whether you're joining the movement virtually, at a march in your hometown, or in Washington today, you are the people whose actions will be able to create and shape the future. It's time to cash the check that Dr. King spoke of for all of the little boys and girls who sit in the back seats of cars and wonder whether their fathers and mothers will make it home, or whether there's food on the table and a place to lay their heads. Wonder about their futures, whether they can live in a world that's more equal, more fair, more just. It's time to take the steps for your check to finally go through. You're about to embark on a march of roughly 3,000 steps. Set an intention for your actions. Don't let them be your last. Don't stop marching here or at home. So why are you here? Be here for George Floyd. Be here for Breonna Taylor. Be here for Elijah McClain and the countless others like them. Step for justice. Step for equality. Step for change. Thank you for listening.